Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, this time talking about Destiny of the Doctors, number 3, The Vengeance of the Stones. Now, if I take absolutely nothing else away from this story, the one thing that I will take away from it is the use of the word recumbent. Anyone listening to this story will know exactly what I mean. A word that I'd absolutely never heard before, and trust me, I pride myself on being able to understand most of the things the Sixth Doctor's said, just now part of my vocabulary. Yes, various people could be seen lounging on the sofas, recumbent. Now, if you've not heard this audio, and fair enough, you might not have, why not? It's marvellous. You should be collecting the entire 11 series. 11 discs of loveliness, because they're pretty damn good. They're also not that expensive, and, as I've said in the past, they are very similar to the Companion Chronicles. However, unlike the Companion Chronicles, they do have a certain influence of modern Doctor Who, because you're not allowed to do that at Big Finish, but you are allowed to do that with Audio Go. However, I am going to take a lot more than the word recumbent away from this listening, because just like the last one was the epitome of the Second Doctor's time, this one is almost a love letter to the Third Doctor's time with UNIT. Set in between Liz leaving and Jo arriving, the Third Doctor is mellowing, he's spending time on Earth. Now, it's read by the guy who plays Mike Yates, and it's written by Andrew Smith. More about that in a moment. Narratively wise, the story is magical. It would be so easy to create a list of things that you needed to include in a story like this. Oh, we'll need UNIT. What was the best stories? Oh, the demons. Blah, 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 blah. No, this is a love letter to the UNIT era. The Brigadier is perfectly realised. Not a fool that we'd come in the later years to recognise. No, a military man with a definite purpose. But this story has one thing going for it that no other bit of fiction has come across. Because, and it's so obvious, why hasn't anyone else thought about it? It's the story of how Captain Yates joins UNIT. In this story, he's Lieutenant Yates. Lieutenant to people who don't speak English. Or is that French? Either way, he is no longer a captain. He's based in Scotland, where mysterious things are happening. Now, the UNIT era, and it's no secret, has been based primarily on Quatermass. Scientists wandering around Earth, fixing things, blah blah blah. But the one thing that has never really been adapted from Quatermass is the last one, the Quatermass conclusion. Mysterious stone circles and alien intervention. And that's what's used here. Perhaps not on purpose, but it definitely works. Stone circles and aliens that use stone technology, and don't go down the route of thinking it's like Stones of Blood, it's so much better. There are no ogre here. No, there are particularly good aliens. Scientists lost. You see, that's got a Silurian thought to it. I don't want to spoil any more than that. Suffice to say that this is particularly well done. It's an excellent piece of work, an excellent piece of writing by Andrew Smith. Andrew Smith is the person who wrote Full Circle, when, according to Wikipedia, he was about 12. He then went on to write for various other bits at the BBC, and then one day he walked away from it all and become a policeman. As far as I know, he's still a policeman, though I know his time with the force is either coming to an end or has already ended. His new career picked up exactly where it left off. Except in these enlightened days, we have Big Finish. Basically, Big Finish now have the writer of Full Circle as a fully grown adult with world experiences and a knowledge of Doctor Who. As a writer, he's probably unstoppable because of that. He has the background and fan credentials in order to produce up some marvellous ideas, and he has the ability to write them down in some sort of cohesive form. This is, as I've said, a love letter to the UNIT era. And if you liked Mike Yates even remotely, this is great. This is truly great stuff. This range, which I didn't exactly hold a lot of hope for, is going from strength to strength. I can't wait for number 4, which, as far as I've heard, has a definite Douglas Adamsy feel, and that's never going to go down badly round my way. So I'll let you go and probably listen to some reviews of a modern Doctor Who. So until next time, be seeing you.
Doctor Who, Vengeance of the Stones, performed by Richard Franklin with Trevor Littledale as Garland. 2 hours later, the Doctor, Mike and the Brigadier were back at Lossiemouth and assembled in the unit operations room within the Hercules transporter. In front of them was a large wall map of Moray and Aberdeenshire. A red pin stuck to the map showed where the hunter had disappeared near the north coast.
You are being disappointingly unresponsive, Mike Yates.
I could feel you putting images in my head of death. Violent death.
I was channeling the memory of our loss, making you suffer as we suffered at your hands.
Unit soldiers came charging in from the hallway, guns raised, shouting at the Armidians to raise their hands, Sergeant Benton at their head.
Who on Tharos are you?
I'm the Doctor, and I'm sorry to tell you that Tharos no longer exists.
You've been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who and its connected properties are copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. Whostrology, a Time Traveller's Almanac, is available through Telos Publishing or Amazon. Visit www.whostrology.com for further information. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.